what to expect from the BlackBerry company in 2017. I thought I would make a short video of what I think BlackBerry should do in 2017 to kind of stay competitive and, I don't know, see if you guys feel the same way. Alright, going in. I know we have a rumor for the BlackBerry Priv 2 DTEC 70, who knows what they're going to name it. However, my hopes are for the device that we do call it the Priv 2 or something along those lines. Reason is, we already have two DTEC phones, the 50, which is a low end, and the 60, which is a high end. And the Priv is still, I think, trying to find its identity. And if you change it to DTEC, then you have, like, let's take Apple for example. Look at their MacBook line. You have MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and then now it's all jumbled in together. Or the iPad line, iPad Mini, iPad Air, iPad Pro, iPad Pro 9.7, and you don't, I think BlackBerry should look and see this and not make the same mistake, and you don't want to confuse your consumers. My hopes for hardware, the Priv lacked in this department coming out of the gates. It found itself awfully non-competitive in like a Geekbench way, and I know Geekbench doesn't really, but honestly, if you put it up against something like the Snapdragon 810 at the time, it really didn't compete as fluidly. And it would be nice to see an all-new chipset, 821 if that is what is current, or try to beat people to the punch with whatever the latest Snapdragon processor is by Qualcomm. It would also be really, really nice to see 4 to 6 gigs of RAM, and I say 4 to 6, 4 to 8, whatever you prefer, just because right now, that's kind of where the industry standards are. And as Android Nougat and 7.1 advance and to kind of future-proof it for 8, we want to see a good multitasking out of phones. We have VR, and we have powerful games, and multitasking is taking in a whole nother level with Nougat, it being integrated straight into the Android operating system. And so it would be nice to see BlackBerry taking that stand, saying we're going to give you 4 to 6 gigs of RAM, and it would future-proof BlackBerry in that market. GPU, they have to make sure that they are on top of it, and they need to make sure that the GPU, if they want to compete on the VR side, that it needs to be able to compete, and that would be BlackBerry's biggest move. They made a bold move with the BlackBerry Priv, no pun intended with the BlackBerry Bold, and so they let's just take it a step further. You learn your lessons. You keep going. They learned BlackBerry 10 could not keep them competing in the market. So let's take something that you created, which was the Priv, and make it better. Don't have the mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because there's a lot to fix. There's a lot to tweak with the Priv. And if BlackBerry can do it right, I think BlackBerry can re-enter the market and gain some of those shares that Windows is losing, that the Note 7 had lost. I know this is going to be 2017, and the Galaxy will be out, and that's going to be a huge tipping point for BlackBerry is, can you compete with the iPhone 10th anniversary that's coming out next year, and as well as the S8, Note 8 if there is one, and BlackBerry needs to see where the market is going and take those routes to secure their future in the mobile industry. That being said, the Priv keyboard, I'm always a friend of the BlackBerry keyboards. I've had the BlackBerry Curves, and as far up to the BlackBerry Q10, and that's a BlackBerry signature. So BlackBerry needs to take the Priv and better it. The capacitive buttons were great for scrolling, however, there just wasn't a lot of travel room, and they were very, I don't know, I just feel like the slide out tray, although the spring was very, very well, again, there's a lot to tweak, there's a lot to do. As far as keyboard, that is your signature as that company, and you need to make sure that your BlackBerry fans love it so that they can make that transition from BlackBerry 10 over to Android. And yeah, I mean, and that's one way to do it. BlackBerry 10, they love their keyboards, and so if you want to capture your audience and new audience, that's one way to do it. Moving on, I think a UI update for them would be great. TouchWiz gets a new UI every year, and BlackBerry's has kind of stayed the same with Android. They haven't been in the game long, and I understand that they really shouldn't focus on software. They should focus on everything mildly. However, there's no such thing as it can't get better. Everything can get better, and though it is very close to vanilla Android, they need to add some things that no one else has. I mean, I know you get the BlackBerry Hub built straight in, which is great, and you get the DTEC protection. And I have to give it to them, they are one of the most secure Androids out on the market. However, what else can separate you from HTC, LG, OnePlus, and other companies like this? Because if you can't find your sole feature, then what are you going to do? Then you turn into the original BlackBerry line. So we really need to look at that going forward. Couple more things. USB-C, that's just future-proof. I mean, just the wattage you can get in charging, the reversibility, and as well as the data connection as far as moving files. It's just so much faster, so much better. And you can future-proof yourself to be able to, you know, take the iPhones, for example. iPhone is pretty much future-proof as far as being able to compete, and so you can have your iPhone 7 for 3 to 4 more years and be fine. And that's one thing BlackBerry needs to do. Make sure that you have the specs to make people want to continue buying your phones, but if they can't, to be loyal to you and have a device that will run for a while. If BlackBerry would just solely focus on the Priv 2017, making it better, then I believe market shares can be a little bit deployed to BlackBerry. And it'll be interesting. Next year is a big year for the tech industry, and it would be great to see BlackBerry make its stand. There's going to be amazing devices. We have the iPhone 8, or 7S. No one knows what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be called the iPhone 8. Again, the Galaxy S8, maybe, hopefully another Note, and then the OnePlus 4, and LG, they're finding their place again, and HT's finding their place again. So my hopes for BlackBerry is that they can move forward and find what targets customers that someone else hasn't necessarily have done. And I know it's getting to that point where it's hard to innovate, but there's always innovation. There's always something to do to make your consumers be like, look what my phone can do. You know, I mean, we have the dual lens on here, the A10 processor that does amazing, and BlackBerry really needs to look at these things and say, how can I compete? Thanks guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to be updated on the latest news that I have for you, subscribe, and I look forward to working with you guys on making videos that you're interested in. If you have any suggestions, put a comment in the description. I'll even reply. So, thanks guys, and see ya.